Welcome to Mixtape Monday. I am Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. And Mixtape Monday is your opportunity to get your questions answered in a production video. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new, if you are tried and true, one of the nearly 8,000 strong cookie jar attendees, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, sharing, and subscribing. We are steadily approaching that 8,000 subscriber mark. I'm very excited about it. So as you guys know, you can drop your questions down below. You can drop them in any video and I will perhaps answer them in Mixtape Monday, where I compile all your questions and I answer as many as I can all at once. So I hope you're having a great start to your week. I'm a little bit late on this because I was actually out doing little job interviews. So I am going to be doing some stuff outside of my house as well, interestingly enough. So let's jump right into it. Strong with a question about Meghan Markle. So Marnie Hall has asked me this quick question just a little while ago. Is Meghan colorblind? Which might be why she always mismatches tones of the same color. So this is a good question. And I actually have a family interest in this. So we do have color blindness on my biological father's side. And oddly enough, women are, it's very rare for them to be colorblind, but one of my aunts on that side of the family is colorblind. I know that they have some trouble distinguishing red and brown, I believe, are the two colors that kind of get blurred together for them. So alarming to say the least. But let's pull up that card view and see if Meghan is colorblind. I know this is a tongue-in-cheek question, but we're going to pull it up anyway. So please hit that like button as I bring that up. And just word to the wise, I will drop this as a premiere and I will go live on my Hypsee app after this, which is a place where you can get instant readings from me. So jump on over there when we're done. I'm going to bust out some Moonology cards too in the middle of this. Is Meghan colorblind? High Priestess, she is not. But what she is doing with those mismatched colors is she is trying to be a tastemaker and a trendsetter. Is it working? No. Is she hyper committed to this? Yes. So she's going to keep presenting us some weird combinations, some weird things, and she's going to try and make it work. So I know Beebs Kelly likes to talk about the GMPs, the giant man pants. She's still going to try and make those giant man pants, the mismatched colors, any color, just blend it together. She is going to try and keep making that work. What can she do to improve that? Oh, telling you, the suits look was great for her. The suits look was great. She's got to stick with it. So what can she do to improve that? She's got to take more people's consideration into place. So if she does work with stylists and the like, she really should be tapping into their know-how and their body of knowledge. That is going to make a lot more sense for her. And she's going to get a lot better results if she does that. So certainly she should do that here with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. I don't think she's going to take that advisement. And there, I think she's still going to keep faking it till she makes it here. This is a fake it till you make it kind of energy with that moon card and the Three of Cups together. I'm just going to keep doing me until everyone realizes that this is such a great idea, such a great combination of blue and black. To be sure, I've done the blue and black myself. I've never felt really comfortable. I have a Pablo Picasso scarf that does have blue and black on it. And I find that it works best with an all black outfit, but I did try and mix it up with it was a royal blue and black. Doesn't always work. It's a little hard to pull off. So if you can pull it off, let me know in the chat. Say black and blue all day long. Black and blue, it's so true. You can drop that in there. So I hope you guys like that reading. Let me know if you can wear blue and black. All right. So I think today's the day that I get to learn how to edit. So forgot to hit pause on that. But I'm all excited being in the new office. This is an interesting question from Nikki. It's actually an assertion. So Nikki says that Has can definitely save himself without Megxie. He does what everyone tells him to do, and he seems like a good, funny guy. Exactly what Hollywood loves. Haha. But despite the hate on the Kardashians, they are savvy businesswomen, and I'm sure they can see right through Megsy. So this is actually two questions. So let's start with Harry. Can Harry save himself in this moment? Oh, yeah, but he does need a lot of support. So he can save himself. Now, don't come for me because I know everyone's going to say, oh, it's the Empress card, it's the Mother card. He's thinking about mama. No, this is cultivating and birthing a new person. And this is, he needs a lot of people to make do with that. So, what do we have over here? Disappointed with how things turned out. Ace of Swords in reverse is cutting things off. And finally, understanding that he is not the most important person in the room. This is something that Harry really needs to understand. He has always been coddled and taken care of and cherished by those around him, tasked with raising him up as a good, decent human being. And he is therefore always said, well, I'm an exceptional person. I'm an exceptional person. He does think that he is very bright and very worldly. But unfortunately, I do think he's a bit myopic in his view of all things. He would not have cosplayed as a poor person so frequently if he did not. He doesn't really understand the impact of being someone of less means. He's never had to struggle. Well, in the last few years, I think he struggled a little bit. So can he save himself? Yes, but he does need to understand that his endeavor with Meghan did not work, that he needs to separate himself from the things that are tainting his brand, and he needs to understand he's not the most important person in the room, and that he perhaps looked at his privilege with a jaded eye when he should have looked at it with much more gratitude. So interesting take on that for Henri. Let's take a little look at the Kardashians. Are the Kardashians, specifically Momager Chris, is she seeing through Meghan Markle? She's seeing through the facade. Is she seeing through it? Clear as day. Doesn't get much better than that. Clear as day. She is seeing it and moving on, making plans. Now, I do think this isn't to say that Kris Kardashian is a garbage picker, but Kris Kardashian is seeing that she can buy a devalued property at a very, very low rate right now. I do think that she sees Harry as a commodity that she can buy into. And I think, does she realize that the royal family does not want him? Does she fully understand how turned off to Harry they are? Does she fully understand that? Oh, yeah. She's like, I'll give him a home. I'll give that ginger a home. He's the complete opposite of the men that her daughters date, though. So I don't know how he's going to fit in there. He is not sporty, in my opinion. He's not sporty. He looks like he likes to play, but I don't know if he does all the right things. This is a bonus question. Is she trying to line up one of the girls for Harry? Is she trying to line up one of the girls for Harry? Devil works hard. Kris Jenner, Kardashian, works harder. I think she's not looking for a mate, but I think she is looking for a storyline. So I don't know how the TV show is doing, but I think she is looking for a little bit of a storyline here that she can add in. I'm going to say it again. Had Harry contacted the Kardashians when they landed in town, had he reached out to them and said, hey, we want to do kind of a lifestyle in your face reality show, I think had he approached Kris Kardashian, he would have gotten a good response. She would have said, we can do this, 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 and this. We could do all these things for you. Let's make it happen. And I think things would have been a little bit smoother for Henri. I think they would have been smoother. Just for fun. What if they had approached Kris Kardashian upon landing? Would she have handled their brand better? Bethany Frankel just said it the other day. If they had been better managed, which I agree, I don't think that they were managed very well. And to no fault of their company that they were working with. I think that there was an element in the room that kept changing the plan, moving the goalpost. I think that Kris Kardashian would have been able to integrate the brand, the Sussex brand, into Hollywood a lot better. What would have happened had she got hold of it? People were on the fence about not liking him, about him being privileged, not having that power energy. She would have walked them away from that and given them in a different direction. I think that Kris Kardashian would have loved my idea where they get like a sloppy surf shack and Harry learns. Harry claims that he surfs. He does not surf. He surfed in a pool. That's not really surfing. But I think that getting them into like a sloppy surf shack and then letting him learn how to surf in like Northern California where the water is cold. It's cold. The Pacific Ocean is cold. The first time that I surfed in San Francisco, San Jose, I was shocked at how cold the water was. Then I was shocked at how rough it was. And then I was shocked that there were a bunch of sharks in the water. It was not my favorite place to be. I think she would have thrown them into a reality show, kind of similar to The Simple Life for Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. I think it would have been very similar to that, kind of them like fumbling their way through regular life. I mean, Megan, she's been to the DMV, we know that. But fumbling through Harry learning how to be a normal person, how to be a regular plebeian would have been quite charming. In the end, I think it may not have paid out or played out very well, though. I do think that there would have been some distaste. What would have been the biggest things that were distasteful? That Harry had no regard for the family that he came from, that he would kind of make snide comments. I think that would have been something they would have struggled with in editing, getting some of those comments out of there. Ginger ale for all of us. 'Tis the season. Definitely ginger ale. This episode of Mixtape Tarot is brought to you by Canada Dry. It's really not. This is not. We're not advertising for them. I would, though. I'm totally game for that. I love Canada Dry. But I think the way that he left the family so negatively, I think would have been a standout. I think a lot of people would not have been able to get around that. But would Harry have dropped it if they were seeing some level of success from the show? Would he have left that alone after a while? No. He still would have been trying to cut down. Note, these cards just reversed. They're in reverse order now. So Wild stuff, right, kids? Right, kids. So we're going to leave that one there. So this one is a little bit different, and I don't have the backstory on this, but Maria Johansson wants to know, can I do a reading about why Ben Affleck so passionately defends Islam? This did collect a few comments. So and some people are explaining about their experience in their country. What is it with Ben Affleck? Why is he so defensive of Islam? And to be sure, I think I do believe very, very firmly that there is a God, that there is a higher power that conducts and has things to do with us. I don't know which religion got it right, though. I come from a mixed religious background. We don't have any Islamists in our family, no Muslims. Let's see. Why is Ben Affleck doing that? So I think Ben Affleck has a very similar perspective to the perspective that I have, is that we cannot be sure which cultivated collective organization got it right. We can't be sure which one has it correct. But what we do see evidence of is more and more people coming in, and someone did comment on this. It was Maria commented on her thread that the only immigrants that they have issues with in Sweden are, in her opinion, the Muslims, and with the efforts to change the culture in the societies that they're coming into. I'm paraphrasing now. That they are trying to change the cultures. So I think that Ben Affleck is defensive of the religion because he is, and I don't know what religion he is by nature, by birth, but he is not sure which one got it right either. But he sees in this modern world that we have to find a common ground on which to stand with different cultures, different religions, different belief structures. So I think that's where he is coming from. And he does have kids that are my kids' age. So, he's probably getting a little bit of the filtering from university. If you have any kids that are at university, you'll find that they do have a more open perspective to different lifestyles, different religions, different cultures. So I think he is trying to lead the pack through a steady kind of thinking about this, a steady kind of we've got some people here. We've got to welcome them in, and we've got to make room for everyone. Just like the same way, if someone came onto the bus and they were elderly, pregnant, you would stand up and give them your seat. I think Ben is trying to kind of do the same thing culturally, and I think he's trying to be a thought leader in that perspective. Neat, very neat. While we're talking about Ben Affleck, let's talk a little bit about Violet Affleck. Okay, so Violet Affleck. Just recently, this young kid, she's a young kid. She's close to the age of one of my kids. And just recently, she did get to present on a world stage her belief that masking should be brought back. Those of you who made it through the pandemic with the rest of us, the masking was super annoying. It was, I didn't get mask acne. I didn't get that. We had plenty of our own cloth masks. And, feeling that these weren't really doing a whole lot, just my opinion. But Violet Affleck seems to want to bring those N90 masks back, which are really, really expensive. So let's see. I do feel that there was a very loud voice of criticism toward her for doing that. Let's see what the cards say. How is her PR going to survive moving forward? 8 of Cups, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Page of Wands, Hierophant in reverse, 4 of Cups. And there's been a question. Is she being prepped for a political career? Strength in reverse and 7 of Cups. I think that this is a very typical college student who is getting some information and has decided that she wants to have a bigger impact on the world other than securing a job, going to that job every day in a shiny metal box like lemmings. I'm quoting a Police song. I think she wants to have a bit more impact. And I think she is trying to use her privilege in the best possible way. I think she is trying to uplift and help people that may not have the same body of knowledge that she has. That being said, I do want to note that there were people that saw her in her own community without the mask on, and that there may be some hypocrisy here if she's hanging out with people perhaps that are in her bubble. Being so highly visible, people are seeing her do that. So I think that she wants a political career. I don't necessarily think that the world wants her to have a political career. And I don't know if this is going to stick. If this was her debut, it was a poor one because it was not as well crafted as she thought it was when she put it together. And we all do that, Violet. We all write a term paper and we have a thesis, and sometimes we don't answer the thesis. Sometimes in our haste, we kind of drop the ball on that. In this case, I do think that she kind of leaped before she looked. I don't think she had all of her ducks in a row. I think there could have been a better platform for her to debut really politically. So is it damaging her moving forward? I do see that she is looking into other perspectives. So what do we get here? What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Oh, one of my Post-its is gone. Let's do Yellow Brick Road for her. So we've got the path. She's under exposure. The pressure is she spoke too fast. The hidden hand. She needs to back off for a little bit. Don't do it just yet. No political career just yet. You can wait a couple of years. You can wait a few years, like when you finish that law degree, or when you get out of university, or when you finish that master's, whatever it is that she is destined to do. Public face. I think she may have to eat a little crow on this one. I think she is going to have to accept that she didn't present this as well as she could have. Private goal, 5th card. Ooh, she's gotten a little anxiety over this. Likely pivot point. Go back into gestation for a little while. So if you want to do the political career, Violet, just take a back seat for a little bit, learn a little bit more, read a little bit more. And that way you'll have this body of knowledge that you can just kind of, I don't want to say disgorge, but you can kind of give this body of knowledge out to people when they start to ask questions. I think that she will have a bit of a political career if she sits tight. I do think she needs to go likely to law school. It would be interesting if she became like a constitutional law attorney. I think it would be very interesting if she did that. Civics is a really interesting and neat course of study here in the United States. And civics, Frank Zappa talked about it a lot. Civics is about the study of our amazing Constitution and how that works and the things that it provides to the citizens of the U.S. So I do think that that would be very, very interesting for her. So that would be my recommendation if I give her a reading. There was a little bit more to the Kris Kardashian setting up Harry with one of her girls. And I said in that earlier reading that it would just be kind of like a flash and dash. Let's get a little more information on that because I'm seeing more and more comments about it. So flash and dash, flash and dash. Let's do this. So Kris Kardashian setting up Harry with one of her daughters. Which one is it? We're starting at the top. We've got Kourtney. Not Kourtney. Not going to work. Kim. Nope. Khloe. Then we have Kylie and Kendall. Khloe it is, kids. Khloe looks like the bachelorette of the week, and she's a little bit hard to keep with a spouse. So what would be the plan? Would this be for long-term or short-term? Long-term or short-term? Long-term. Nope, would absolutely be short-term. We would be in and out. What would be the main goal for brand improvement for, what is her name? Not Kourtney. Kardashian. Kourtney, Kim, and Khloe. So Khloe's brand is a little bit dead in the water and stayed. This would be an unexpected spouse, an unexpected individual that gets involved with her. And that's why. So when I said he's the opposite of what the Kardashian girls date, that's what that's about. And it would be an agreement. I think Kris would be like, hey, let's just carve out this agreement. You guys just hang around, get to go out to dinner a whole bunch. What's the big deal? Go on vacation, walk on a beach, let people snap pictures of you. NBD. Right, Greg? NBD. Gregopedia is here in the house. If you guys don't know him, that is my wonderful husband. We call him Gregopedia because he knows everything. Oh. All right, let's move it on. So we're going to do 2 for 1 on this one. So Ariane says those two went to the baby to baby event just before, and a lot of people that were headed to were headed to the party after. They think she sidled up to Serena Williams and went with her. So let's see if Serena Williams plus 2'd them. Let's see if Serena Williams plus 2'd them. No. I'm going to say this, guys. I think they just followed the crowd. And we've all done this. We've all gone to an event that, just come on. We're all going. Everybody's driving over. Nobody wanted them in their car, but everyone said, oh, it'll be great. Just go. Just go. You just did that movie for Bezos. Just go. He'll love it. Anna Miller showed up. The nice Anna Miller. The holiday Anna Miller showed up, Greg. So I don't think Serena brought them, but I think that they just kind of followed the flow. What, my dear?
Talking about showing up uninvited.
Who showed up uninvited?
Annabelle.
Oh, Annabelle. She's always invited. Are you kidding me? She's a delight. So, part 2 of this question, and this is coming from Nikki. I can't believe she wore that outfit to the Kardashian party. She looked so out of place with all the other women who looked so glamorous. I would be so embarrassed to show up in that outfit, let alone a Kardashian party. It looked black tie. Harry got it right. He was wearing a tuxedo when he walked in. They were dressed completely differently. She had on, and I still don't know if it is navy blue, royal blue. It's not royal blue, but I still don't know if that bodysuit was just the wrong color black or if it was actually blue. So I don't know. It looked terrible. She also did not look good in it. It did not suit her. I think she thought that she was thin enough to kind of show it off. It didn't work. She should have pulled, should have re-wore, should have wore something out of her closet. It looked old. It looked wrinkly. It did not look good. Why would she wear that outfit to the baby when Harry had a tuxedo on? You're not going to believe it, guys, but this was something she had in her closet. This is something, I believe it was Balenciaga. This was something she had in her closet, and it's vintage. I think it's considered vintage. Raven is visiting us. Hi, Raven. Good to see you. I know. Good girl. We have to get you a bed in here, too. She just threw it on and was like, I'm just going in this. Like, did they stop home when they heard about? Hang on. When did they plan on heading over to both parties? When did that happen? Was that at the baby or was that before baby? Mad that they didn't get an invite. Wheel of Fortune. Guys, they just walked in. And I do think that she purposely wore Balenciaga because she thought that would be her ticket in the door. I think she purposely wore it because of that. It would have been, well, I'm here and I'm walking the walk and talking the talk. Why so underdressed, though? This is so strange, guys, because I just think that she did not have anything in her closet, and I don't think that anyone was jumping up and down to give her anything. That's really all there is to it. Did she make calls to try and get something? She did. No love from anybody. No love. So that's it. That's why she threw it together. And I think she did actually throw it together. So what a shame. So let's switch it up. A little palate cleanser for y'all. And we're going to talk about the actual royals, albeit married in royals. So one of you, Diana, said that Camilla thought Catherine was not worthy either. Now, this is in response to my Catherine, Princess of Wales. Did she orchestrate Prince Andrew's downfall? And what I will do is I will put up somewhere, I'll put a card. So you guys, maybe it'll be up there. It might be up there. So you guys can go and watch that video. That's just from last week. That was just to see how much involvement the Princess of Wales had in the decision for Andrew. It came up with some interesting things. But did Camilla think that Catherine was not worthy to marry William? So this would be a yes card, but it is about happy family and legacy. Absolutely not. I don't think that Camilla, when it came down to making that decision, I think Camilla was right on board with it. I think her experience having to have to wait for the love of her life after they had children, after all kinds of stuff, I think that that is significant for her. Did she ever think that Catherine was beneath the station? No, she wanted to see how it would play out. And I do think with that King of Pentacles in reverse, that Catherine did not have a courtly perspective and ambition. So coming from outside of those noble circles, Catherine just wasn't steeped, her family wasn't steeped in the courtly tradition of trying to climb your way to the top. So I think certainly we are looking at, let's see how this young lady trains up. What does Camilla think of her right now? What does Camilla think, Queen Camilla, what did she think of Catherine, the Princess of Wales today? It is November 17th, 2025. What does she think of her today? Well, this is some wild cardage here. Holy smoke, guys. Holy smoke. So Camilla, initially I was like, well, you know, she is ready to pass the baton. And we've talked when Queen Margrethe abdicated her role. We talked about that on this channel, about how Camilla and Charles thought, well, that's an interesting idea. Retirement, monarch retirement. That's a very interesting idea. And I think she was more, and I thought this would be passing of the baton, but no. I think that she is seeing William and Catherine as the inbound monarchs. I think she's seeing them as changing up tradition, changing things a little too much and not looking back to history. We've got the Four of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, Justice in reverse, Lovers in reverse, everything's in reverse here. So I think her perspective of the Waleses is that they are shaking things up a little too much. I think her perspective is that Catherine is going to support whatever William wants. And if William wants to drop titles, change status and station for a number of people, I think Catherine is going to be fully behind him. And I think Camilla finds that somewhat problematic. Interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. Did not expect that. Did not expect that. Let's flip it around a little and let's see what Catherine thinks of Queen Camilla. Let's see what Catherine thinks of Queen Camilla. So I think this is a little playful here. I think she is under the impression that Camilla can start a ruckus, definitely start a ruckus and start some things up, but offers not a lot of solutions. And I think that that's not because Camilla isn't smart or wise or clever in that capacity. It's that she does not want that weight of responsibility on her where she's making decisions for the trajectory of the monarchy, which is very different from how Catherine is doing it. I think Catherine is full throttle supporting her husband, whatever his ideas are. If she's whispering in his ear, remember our queens in the tarot whisper. If she's whispering in William's ear, that is one thing. I think in close quarters, I think Catherine is doing that. I think her opinion is taken into consideration very, very notably by William and the king and the current king, King Charles. But I think Camilla refrains from that. I don't think that she really injects her initiatives. I don't think that she gives her initiatives. I think she'll say, well, everything's a mess and the monarch should fix that. And again, I think she is staying well within the definition of her role, Queen Camilla. I don't think she's doing that to be difficult, but I think Catherine sees it as being somewhat difficult. I think Catherine sees this as almost not contributing to the success of the monarchy. It's an interesting perspective that she has. So we are going to jump back across the pond for this final question. And we are going to be talking about Britney Spears. So in one of my videos, we talked a little bit, this is from last Mixtape Monday, we talked a little bit about the salvation of Britney Spears. Salvation of Britney Spears really is going to require, by my tarot assertion, it's going to require that Britney get good leadership in hand. And I suggested Paris Hilton. Let's see if Paris will reach out. Now, I did see that there was one of the people that was involved in the destruction of Britney Spears, the person. She was at the Kardashian party with Paris Hilton, who wore Catherine, the Princess of Wales, gold James Bond dress. She wore the silver one. She looked fabulous. But I believe there was a picture taken with Lou Taylor and Kris Kardashian. So having Paris Hilton that close to Lou Taylor, who was so entrenched in the handling of Britney Spears's career and possibly her conservatorship and all the other things that went into it. Will Paris step up? And well, the question was, will Britney ask Paris for help? So let's do that. Will Britney ask Paris for help? 8 of Swords in reverse, 5 of Cups in reverse. And I just want to say this, Britney Spears had a sleepover with the Kardashians like the next night. Oh my God. This is really interesting. Are we going to see a better team step up to help Britney? 2 of Wands. They're working on it, kids. They're working on it. They're trying to figure out how that's going to look. Looking back, Page of Wands, Page of Cups. They're getting the bad news bears out of there. They know she's exposed and they know that there's another conservatorship on the way. They're racing the clock right now. What a way to end this Mixtape Monday. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this whole Britney Spears thing. She absolutely needs better leadership in Britney, the career. She absolutely needs better leadership. I would like to see strong leadership. I know that her father, Jamie, did his best. I'm not gonna vilify anybody on here right now, but I know he was probably trying to do his best. I know there was a lot of money going through a lot of hands. I know there was a lot of properties that were bought and family members were stuck in them. Everyone was getting $40,000 a month. Really terrible. But let me know what you think of the whole Britney situation. And if you think that Paris Hilton or the Kardashians are a solution to this. Remember, Britney was friends with her way back in the day. And we had all those great shots of Britney and Lindsay and Paris all out at the same time in the early aughts. It was an interesting evening, to say the least. There was a lot of minge hanging out that night. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, I am going to drop this as a premiere. So if you watched, I will see you at the end of it. And I will be opening up for hours on my Hypsee app after the broadcast. So I hope that you have a great rest of your week. I'm going to cut these down and you'll get some clips as well throughout the week, because I think my week just got a whole lot busier with this job interview. I will see you in the future.